Hi guys.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Sisters in the City with me, Anna Vakili.
And me, Amanda Vakili.
Guys, you cannot believe what's happened. This episode, we literally done it. We've done this episode. It was so fucking good. Hopefully it's just as good as the first time.
It was so funny. It was like so spontaneous and freestyled, and it was just always freestyle, but it was like, it just
flowed. It was really funny. Like I was literally dying from laughter from Mandy. Anyway, we did this on Saturday. We wake up on Sunday morning and our editor's like, your sound's not come through properly. Like it's crackling.
Yeah, we've like checked this one about 10 times because we're so paranoid.
Yeah, we literally have checked it so many times. And he's like, it's crackling. I literally at home just burst out crying. And my boyfriend's like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, oh, my podcast didn't work.
And then she told me and I was crying and Gingerbeard was like, what's happened? Because it just takes like so much effort, energy.
Like she didn't know I was crying and I didn't know she was crying. And we were both crying because it was just such a good
And it feels like you lost gold, innit? Like,
yeah, but it's weird. I don't know why we're so dramatic and emotional because really it would have been, we can do it again and it will be just as good.
Well, I don't know because we're redoing the episode, but we're not going to copy that episode. We're just going to...
Yeah, it's going to be the same topic.
Yeah.
And we just decided to do different dilemmas to last time just so that we can keep it kind of like...
Fresh, guys. And happy Ramadan Mubarak, everyone.
Happy Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan is Mubarak.
Right. Guys, honestly, Ramadan Mubarak. We have so many Muslim listeners. We know that like a big proportion of our listeners are Muslim. We've got so many, our best friends are Muslim. We've grown up around Muslims. Our family, we have family that's Muslim.
Yeah.
So we want to kind of, basically, we were going to do this episode on sex initially, and then we realized, we remembered it's Ramadan.
Yeah.
And then we thought, do you know what? We're going to have some more like respect for our listeners, and we're going to try and keep it PG as much as we can. Well, Mandy's going to try her best.
I'm going to try, okay? But yeah, because we don't want to obviously like, you know,
be disrespectful.
Putting filth out there like during this very holy time. Anyway, we hope that this month goes amazing for you and it purifies your mind, body and soul.
I'm using this month as well to kind of detox a little bit as well. Like we're not drinking this month.
Well, I'm on a drinking like, I banned myself. I'm on a drinking detox, yeah? And it's like 2 weeks now, 2 weekends I haven't drank. And it hasn't made a difference to the amount of mad drama that is in my life. I thought it was associated with alcohol. Obviously
I told you it's not. I told you.
What? The drama?
I know for me, like, alcohol is just really bad when I get really smashed, and at that point, when I get really smashed and I do something bad, what I do that's bad is what's giving me stress the next day. Of like my actions when I'm...
Anxiety.
Yeah.
Which I always told you about this and you were like, I don't have anxiety.
But I don't. If I don't do anything, if I have a good drunk night, the next day I have a great hangover.
I always do something bad. Like there's always something that's going to give me anxiety the next day. Anyway, so we went for a normal casual dinner with the girls on Saturday and then we went to smoke shisha at Elysee. And it was lovely, it was nice. My boyfriend, Gingerbeard, was out with his friends in having dinner. And then I don't know what they were going to do after, but they were out. And he was like inviting me out, come out, like have a drink. And I was like, no, I'm on this like green tea vibes and you're on this like double vodka vibes. I'm not doing this, I'm trying to lose weight. But still, I went crazy that night, Anna, which you don't even know what happened to me.
I mean, you messaged me in the night saying, I think you said I'm coming round. And I was like, I didn't know what was going on. It was like 4 a.m. or something. And
I had this drama. It's like such a mess. Obviously, the clocks went forward as well.
Yeah.
It was so confusing this Saturday. But anyway, Gingerbeard said to me in a text, like, my friends are going to this club and I'm getting picked up by the Uber driver, by a cab driver. So my head is like, he's not going there and they're going there. But anyways, there's a stupid misunderstanding because obviously if he said I'm going there and from there I'm getting picked up, I wouldn't have minded. He never goes clubbing like without me, like ever. Like I think the last time was like, 4 months ago?
Yeah.
He doesn't even go to bars without inviting me. He always invites me everywhere.
And it's not his fault that you want to do this detox.
Right. And plus he invited me last time, he invites me every week. And to be fair, I've been going with him every week as well. Apart from the last 2 weeks where I started the detox, I have always been out with him. You know that, right? But anyway, for some reason, it came into my head that like, he's lied to me. He's gone to this club without telling me. He's been there for ages. Oh my God, I'm like at home, like a weirdo, sober, yeah? And I don't know, it scared me, yeah? I was like, okay, I need to go and see a doctor, yeah? I was smashing vases, trays, smashing, shaking. Like, it's so weird because he was allowed to go to a club anyway. I thought because he's hiding something else. I don't know what got into my head. Anyway, I'm like, watch when you come home. The abuse that he comes home, yeah? And then I was like, give me your phone. He literally gave me his phone, relaxed, sat down, was rolling his cigarette, like didn't care. I literally was like, might as well just go through everything quickly, but didn't really need to. But I just was like looking mainly at the cab driver times. Like, I wanted to figure out the time he sent me a picture saying he's leaving the restaurant and the time that he got picked up. It was literally 20 minutes. So basically he was in there for 20 minutes. And like, it was just, I made this massive thing, but then I was like, I have to go along with it now? Because now I've made myself look like a psycho and I'm in the wrong and I've been abusing this guy for no reason. I can't back down and be like, sorry, because he's going to milk that, right?
Yeah.
So I have to go with it.
Yeah, because there's different personalities. Some guys, when you say sorry, they just milk the situation in it. Remember we talked about that last week?
Yeah. So I knew, like, I can't now be like, I'm really sorry. Like, I went with it. I just went with it. Like, I'm done with this. And like, then in the end, he comes over, he's like, hugs me. He's like, it's okay. And then I was like, something's wrong with me. I'm a weirdo.
But didn't you take the morning after pill recently?
This is why. So no, because the next morning when he told me about the podcast, again, I behaved like somebody had passed away.
Yeah. When it was just an episode that's passed away.
And I kicked off with him again. And he was like, you're taking your podcast thing out on me. And I was like screaming, crying. I was like, Anna, I'm coming over. Then I was like, okay, something is wrong with me.
It's definitely the morning. I'm telling you now, the morning after pill, like all these pills and stuff, they mess with your hormones. When you told me you were taking the morning after pill, I was like, oh my God, the next few days for her is going to be a bit of a madness, like the next week. And like, obviously I told you, like, you know, me and Mandy, I've been doing a lot of like research. I've been doing a lot of research on like hormones and your ovulation and how your mood changes and your energy level changes during these periods for a woman. And it really is true. It's really true. Your energy levels, your sex drive, your mood, everything, it all changes.
Hormonal.
Like, even though I was really upset about the podcast, like yesterday, I mean, you like, we wanted to come back and do it. And we had a disagreement on times and stuff. I would have reacted a lot worse, I think, if I was like at a certain time in my menstrual cycle.
It's just so weird because like, I know I'm an extreme person. I'm very intense and emotional anyway, but the thing wasn't proportionate to my reaction. And that's what scared me. I was like, I can get this angry and I can get this crazy and this emotional, but it has to be something big. I'm not usually like this. So then when I thought about it, I was like, what have I done differently? The morning after, and then I started Googling it. And when I Googled it, it was like, okay, we don't want to say these key horrible words, but like, it was like depression, anxiety, mood swings can last up to 7 days.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, this is like the second day.
I remember when like, it's like more than 7, like 8 years ago, I started on the pill for like, you know,
I remember
contraception. Do you remember how much of a crazy person I became?
I remember.
I became an absolute crazy person. I had to come off it.
I remember, oh my God. So I just don't want to, when are they going to bring something out for men?
Yeah, but even if they did bring something out for men, how many men are going to do it?
I would make my boyfriend do it. Like, I'm done.
My boyfriend is such one of those guys that like, I'm a man kind of guy. Like,
yeah, so it's your responsibility because when the baby comes, it's all going to be on you to pay for this shit.
And he's just one of those.
I spoke to Gingerbeard's sister yesterday and she was like, I had to come off everything as well. She's like, I came off everything. And I was like, look, it's on you. Like, because why is the onus and the burden on us to prevent like a pregnancy? It's just not fair.
It's not fair. Nothing's fair for women, really.
Our life is just so unfair.
Well, isn't it? We were talking about the other day. We were like talking about The Last of Us, and we were talking.
The Last of Us.
I don't know. On Sky, there's a show, called The Last of Us, and there's the main guy there, and like all the girls are crazy about him. I don't know. I've been seeing him all over TikTok and Instagram. Everyone fancies him so much, but he's really quite old.
Quite old because if you look, he's got like really like bulges of wrinkles under his eye, like so wrinkly around his eyes. Yeah, when a woman gets one line, she's marked down.
Yeah, like he's so like fit, right?
Like, and 20-year-olds would bang
me
him.
and Mandy were discussing this the other day, and I was like, Mandy was like, it's so unfair how women, when we get old, it's like, oh my God, no. But when a guy gets old, he can still be as sexy. Like 20-year-old girls will be like, wow, he's fit.
And I said to Anna, I think it's because like we have been brainwashed to think that way, that men become the silver fox, that men become sexier and more handsome, and like women get a few lines, they're marked down.
Because I wasn't sure. I was like, Mandy, is it because like genuinely men are better looking, like they can be really good looking with age, and women genuinely aren't? And Mandy was like, no, that's not true, because she was like, if you could look back in history, But, like artwork, you can see that women were like, what you were
I
saying.
said basically like, it's definitely social conditioning and brainwashing of like hundreds of years where like men who have dominated culture and people's perceptions have made us believe that like men can become more attractive at age and women simply just like become worthless when it comes to like beauty, yeah? And look, back in the day, artwork and stuff, women had like sagging boobs and they had bellies and like they were seen as sexy and the most attractive. But now it's like tiny, tiny waists and like massive ass. And this is all because of like the way the media has like kind of brainwashed us.
And like Victorian times where they start snatching
in
the
the
waist.
waist.
So it's like, it's all kind of, imagine if we now in the media started portraying like older women with younger guys and younger guys being like, oh, wow, she's hot.
Right.
And we kept doing that for years and years and hundreds of years. In the future, like people actually genuinely be like, oh, she's...
Right. But because we live in a world that has been so male dominated, right? Like we haven't really had a say on what the beauty standards are. Like men have decided what the beauty standards are. At one point it was low drooping boobs and bellies and now it's like really up there plastic breasts and really small flat stomachs. So we haven't had a say. But if we did have a say and we controlled like the culture and the media for decades and decades and decades, and we glamorized and sexualized
older women,
older aged women in the media, in film, in music, or whatever it is, in art, then young men coming into this world will start thinking, oh, so that's actually sexy.
Yeah, I believe that. I think it's true.
It is 100% true. And I feel like, I don't know, it's just,
Let's be the change.
And it is slightly changing though. If you pay attention, you will start seeing in like films and stuff, older women are starting to become a little bit more sexualized than they were before. Yeah, they are. They are a little bit more promiscuous and sexually liberated and all these things. And, like,
I could definitely see women are more, sexually like liberating. That for sure, I can see.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what I think. It's just all brainwashing, yeah?
Yeah.
Anyway, we talk about so much shit.
Yeah, honestly, like if there's a cat, me and Andy came round to mine the other day to help me with my pharmacy application because obviously I'm going to return to the register. And so she came round for like literally 8 hours. I think for 2 of those hours, not even 2, probably 1 of the hours we did the application. For the rest of the hours, 7 hours in a row, we were just talking. And I was like, oh my God, man, this is all so good for the podcast. Like we should just not talk and save everything for the podcast.
That's what I always say. I'm like, we should not see each other for like a few days before the podcast because that day when I went to hers, if there was a camera, it would have been the best episode.
We were talking about such juicy stuff and like we get deep and we talk about like male psychology and female psychology and
we just qualified ourselves as like psychologists and like, therapists when we really don't know shit.
Anyway, guys, very exciting news. I booked Dubai with the girls because Mandy's going to Dubai with her boyfriend at the end of April. No, at the end of May.
No, end of April.
At the end of April, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to Dubai at the beginning of May with the girls. My boyfriend's really busy right now.
I really didn't want anyone to know. I just literally told everyone.
Why? Why not?
Because, people are weird.
Anyway, and then I'm going with the girls at the beginning of May because I can't go with my boyfriend, unfortunately. He's a very busy man.
I'm leaving Dubai when Anna comes with the girls. I'm going to get such bad FOMO.
No, it's fine. You're going with your girl. I would have loved... do you know, honestly, I would have preferred, no offense, girls, I would have preferred to go with my man.
Only because it's something...
I've done it with my girls so many times.
That's the only reason.
But like I really want at the beginning, at the beginning of a relationship, even though it's not really the beginning, but like the first few years of a relationship, you want to travel, you want to do all these things with your partner. And like, I don't feel like we've done that enough.
Me and Gingerbread haven't at all. Like, I've literally been on one trip away and it was basically mainly like Cyprus and it wasn't a couple's holiday. This isn't even going to be a couple's holiday because I'm pretty sure his friends are going at the same time. I actually can't wait till I get a couple's holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I've never had that with him.
Yeah, I think it's at the beginning
of
the first few years of a relationship.
I realised what it was. It was the move, him moving out into his flat and renovating it and how expensive it was and that cost of all of that time that basically just distracts us. We're furnishing the place. We're not thinking about holiday.
You've had a busy year.
But yeah, he's going to make up for it, man.
Anyway, I was debating with my boyfriend yesterday. I really want to know everybody's opinion. Please give it to me in the comments, yeah? So he's like, okay, well, you're going away with 3 single girls. You're the only one that's in a relationship, yeah? So they're going to, obviously, when you go out on a night out, they're going to go on guys' tables, right? Yeah. Obviously. They're going out on holiday. They're having fun.
They're going to chat to guys.
Yeah, I would. If I was single, why not, yeah? What are you going to do? Like, I was like, well, obviously, I'm going to go on with them. I'm going to go with them. Like, I'm not going to sit out like...
Guys,
So you guys, I'll sit by the bar while you guys out.
I'll be at the bar, guys.
Right? He's like, you think I'm gonna have my girl going on guys' tables? Like, are you mad? Like, no way would I have that. And I was like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, sit by the bar? He was like, nah, fuck that. You think I'm gonna let another guy pay for my fucking girl? No, why don't you get your own tables? I was like, well, firstly, yeah, let's say we wanted to get our own table. They're gonna wanna, at the end, chat to guys. They're single. I would want to chat to guys if I was single. So then they're going to end up on a guy's table anyway. So what's the point of getting a table if you're going to end up on a guy's table anyway?
Or even worse, the guys will end up on your table.
Yeah.
Also,
and then
why would I pay for something I can get for free? Like
that as well, but you can't say that to him because he's just all about,
what if I was single? Why would I pay for a table?
Anyway, so this is this. I was like, okay, hold on a minute. So when you go away with your boys that are single and you and your boys have a table with with your boys and your single boys bring girls to the table and they have friends and they come to your table, what are you going to say? Nah, they can't come on the table.
I don't want my man paying for girls.
Right? And he goes, I'm not paying for them girls. I'm paying for myself. I was like, so them boys aren't paying for me?
They're paying for
like
themselves.
they're paying for themselves. Nah, it's different.
How? What if one of those guys had a girlfriend?
When I tell you, I brought my best lawyer skills on that debate. I brought my best lawyer skills that he literally was speechless. Speechless.
He's not in a realistic relationship.
I was like, look, I don't like the thought of girls being on your table, but I'm not stupid. It's going to happen. And I trust you enough to be in that situation. I'm not going to ruin your holiday or ruin your boys' holidays and cause that, yeah? After speaking to him, he came around.
I think this is the only way like a relationship will work when you're like, the trust is really there and you're realistic about situations that would occur. And I think, look, I've been in this situation. Gingerbread went away and I knew there was girls on his table and he told me there was girls on his table. And
it's not a nice thought.
Right. My argument in my relationship is I want to minimize this scenario and this experience occurring very often in my life.
100%.
That's it.
To be honest, I was like to him, look, at the end, I'm so grown for these stupid debates. I wouldn't say it was an argument, but we got back and forth debating, yeah? I was like, I'm too grown. I'm 32 years old, yeah? To be sitting here talking about girls' tables, boys' tables, girls coming to your table in a club, da-da-da. It's
agree.
so childish at this age for me, yeah? Like, to be honest, I don't feel the need to go on a party holiday with my girls anyway at this age. Like I've grown, I can go on nice holidays with my friends. It doesn't have to be a party holiday. But I was like, but at the end of the day, don't get it twisted. I know that if you weren't so busy right now with your life, 100% at one point in the next year, you would go away with your boys on a party holiday. So I'm not going to stop myself from doing these things because I know you're
going on a party holiday, Anna.
I'm saying I'd happily not do that if I knew.
You're not making sense. You're saying I'm good to not go on a party holiday with my girls, but I'm going on one because you would have potentially, hypothetically would.
Yes, you would. And you will. As in you will.
So you're just doing this out of spite?
I'm not just doing this. I'm going to live.
You want to go on the holiday, mate?
Saying, of course I want to go on the holiday. You don't get it. I want to go on the holiday, but I would compromise that part of my life because I don't mind. It's not a huge thing. I want to, but I can compromise on it.
Oh, so that's what you're saying.
What I'm saying is I've gotten to the age where I can compromise on these things because I think once you settle down and stuff, it's a bit more respectful to not go on a party holiday with your single mates.
I agree.
Yeah, of course you'd want to do it. It's fun.
But you know what? I don't even see Dubai as a party holiday. Dubai is such a nice place. It's not like Ibiza. Do you know what I mean? Marbella. Do you know what I mean? I feel like Dubai is a little bit more, it's got a bit more class to it. You can go there and party every day. You can go there and do balanced.
Yeah, but
whatever.
It is a bit when we go to Dubai, we go wild. Yeah, day, night partying and stuff like that. And I'm like, yes, I enjoy it. Of course I'd want to go. But it's one of those things I'm happy to stop it. It doesn't make a big deal.
Can I just say, about this whole compromising? In my head right now, sitting here is I would sacrifice and compromise not going on a party holiday with my girls just because I'm happy to give that part of my life up in exchange for Gingerbread not going on a party holiday with his friends, right? But then I've realistically, why am I saying that from this age now, for the rest of my life, I wouldn't want to?
But you go on party islands with your partner and a bunch of friends. Your partner, his friends and their girlfriends or their friends and your friends. You go as a group with your partner there. Why is my partner in a fucking pool club,
I agree.
drinking drunk with girls that are drunk in their bikinis coming up to, like, why? Why
agree,
is that
mate.
situation happening when we are settled down and we want to start a life together? We want to
agree.
start a family together one day. Like, that shit's for when you're in your 20s.
Yeah, this is
We're
why.
older now.
Don't get with a guy that's younger than you, yeah?
It's not only that, like, there are plenty, and I brought up to him, I was like, there's plenty of guys, even in your friendship group, yeah? Like the guy that's just had a girl, she's just had a kid, yeah? And in your life, your boyfriend's sister's husband, there are plenty of guys out there that they're not about this life.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? I was like, you're about this life, and I know my man is about this life.
God,
so
you're moaning at you. What would you do if you were a gingerbeard? Mate, I'm the one who suffers.
Look, anyway, my point is like, to him, I was like, look, I'm happy to not do these things. I'm doing them anyway. So like the fact that this debate is even out here right now is because of, to be honest, you.
Yeah.
And he knew that. When I said that, he actually was like, you know what, you're right.
Yeah.
He can't not stop. He said, he was like, he can't not stop. So I'm not going to stop things that I actually enjoy.
Anyway, eventually all these things, like, they disappear anyway as you get older for 99% of people.
If I was 40 years old and I was single, I genuinely think I'd be that older woman that's on a table in Mykonos. Like,
yeah, shaking my ass, getting on tables. Believe me, I won't lose my hustle even when I'm 40. But you know what, yeah? Like, I go through this a lot, because my boyfriend went on a boys' holiday. I wouldn't say we were as serious then as we are now, because now we live together. It's like a bit different. Do you remember then I was in our last flat? But like, I said to him, like, I'm okay with you going on one holiday, like 5 days a year with your friends.
Mandy has like terms and conditions in every
I have
relationship.
terms and conditions. One boys' holiday a year.
5 working days.
And I was like, I'm only okay with that for like the next maybe 2 years.
For the next 2 years, 1 holiday, 5 working days. Is there an amount of hours? This many hours.
I'm sorry. And then this year, I was like, look, this year, I was like, are you going to go? And he's like, this year, I'm not going to go. And I'm like, okay, good. Well, I hope not. But the thing is, yeah, one thing I know for sure, this is one thing I know, yeah? Like every relationship, you can't guarantee how it's going to go, yeah? But from my experience, as time goes on, men become more deeper and women become a little bit more cool.
Really?
That's what I've experienced. That's my experience. And I can see it going that way.
What do you mean?
Like, right now, I think Gingerbeard's okay with me going on a girl's holiday, but he's less okay with it now than he was last year. And I think next year, he'll be less okay with it. And I think as time goes on, it will bother him more than it bothers me. That's what I believe. And then when it gets to that stage, that's when he's going to, like, really stop. Because I don't know, I'm not no basic bitch. Like, do you know what I mean? I kind of know how to play it. And I feel like when it gets to the point where I really, really like, I don't know, in the relationship, when you know that like they're so obsessed with you, they're not going to want you to go with your girls and be in a bikini.
I don't know.
On guys'
I really want to
tables.
know everyone else's thoughts. Are we too? I don't know. Whatever. Is it because we're Middle Eastern,
I think
or
it is because we're Middle
like,
Eastern.
is it?
Because I remember when
is it very narrow-minded? Like, do a lot of married couples? I know we're not in a married couple, but we live together. We're very serious in our relationship. Is there many listeners that are in serious relationships that live together where they go on like party holidays separately from their partner? Like, I would love to know.
I know, yeah, that like every single relationship works differently. Some people work amazing, have the best relationships and marriages, and they both go on their separate party holidays. They've got an immense amount of trust that we just don't have, and we will never have.
But how do they have that much
have
trust?
They have it, man. I'm telling you, the way Gingerbeard trusts me, I envy it. Like the way he trusts.
Yeah, but it's very different from women trusting men.
And even him, yeah, he doesn't trust me the way some people trust their partner. So there's some people that they don't go on any party holidays.
But it's not even about trust.
Actually, it really, really boils down to it. Really, really, when it comes down to it, it is about it.
For me, it's like, I trust my man. I trust him, but like, I just don't want him in that environment.
Yeah, but you just still have that 1% of doubt of like, is there going to be a flirting? Is there going to be a long conversation? Please, I don't even need to get into that, yeah? That's what it really, 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 when you trust that person the way I trust you, Anna, the way I trust you,
yeah,
you wouldn't give a fuck. But people don't have that. Maybe want to know fucking how many thousands of people have that kind of trust. You wouldn't care. You'd sleep like a baby.
What? If I thought, if I completely 100% trusted my man's going to go there, not even chat to a girl, not even a hello.
Yes, you wouldn't give a fuck. If you had,
I think I would.
If you could gamble your family's life on it. Anyway, right? I just think everyone works differently. Some relationships work not going on any holidays at all with their friends. Some relationships work going on loads of holidays. And it's like every relationship has a different criteria. There is no one rule for everyone.
I do think though there are some like one rules for everybody. Like
I don't think so.
Like, what do you mean?
It's just like some couples need to like have sex every day. Some couples need to have sex once a month. They're happy, both of them. There's some couples
that need to have that
some
separate
couples
like time away from each other partying, and some couples don't need it.
You have to
I get what you mean,
someone,
like personalities that you need to find someone that matches you.
This is exactly like a girl. One couple's happy with the woman paying for everything. One couple's happy with the man paying for everything. One couple's happy with 50-50. There is no one rule for everyone.
Yeah, but people judge. Like people would maybe judge us being like, you're too like insecure or controlling, or or like why would it be a thing? Who cares if he goes on a party holiday?
Because these things are objective and they're relative to the person and their personality, their upbringing, their experience. Yeah, that's what they are.
True, that's very
Maybe
true.
I'm not very suitable for Gingerbeard. That's a whole other topic. Or you're not very suitable for Cowsick. But there are couples that are happy with different lifestyles. Very different lifestyles.
It's just also because we've seen so much.
Just like strip clubs.
Yeah.
Just like that. People I got messages saying, I'm completely fine with it. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like because we've seen so much, it's kind of like messed with our head a lot.
Yeah, and I feel like we've gone crazy on this podcast. We've digressed. We haven't even started the topic. We've been talking non-stop.
But it's been 30 minutes and we've been literally just talking. Maybe we could leave the live.
Maybe we can just do this as like another catch-up. Like, we were meant to help you guys with your friendship dilemmas.
But you guys do love our catch-up episodes anyway.
Yeah, right? Okay, well, since we're doing this, I did go and get my nipple tattoo because I got some messages, people asking me.
Oh, yeah?
Because I lost pigment of my areola when I got a breast lift, my first breast lift. The guy was I don't know, he was not good at all because it bottomed out. My nipple scabbed off. I thought I was going to lose my entire nipple, yeah? And I nearly did, by the way, lose my entire nipple. I pressed it down and put gauzes and put these weird ointments for some of it to heal back. But I lost a lot of pigment. When I met Ginger, I was like, hi, I have one nipple missing. Anyway, I got it tattooed and I went to a lady called Naomi Hara. I went to Portsmouth. It was a 2-hour drive from where I am. The reason I went to her is because I had a gut feeling. Just the gut feeling. I saw her and I was like, even though it's 2 hours away, I don't want to go to anyone in Harley Marley Street. I'm going to this woman in Portsmouth and I'm very, very happy.
Yeah, and I mean, I saw it when you first got it done and it looked really good, but it was really dark. Has it lightened a little bit?
I think slightly, but she said it would take a week. And I just want to say this woman, she was like, I was talking to her and she was like, oh yeah, I've just been recently divorced. I was in an 11-year marriage. And I was like, wow, she's actually been married twice. I was in a 6-year marriage before that. And I was like, are you okay? Like, what's happened? She's like, oh, I left them both.
And how, you said she was an older woman.
She was not old. She wasn't old. She looked like 40s. But like, she was just such a bad bitch. Like See,
it's never too late just to start again or live your best life.
Right? And she's like, I'm writing a book. And she's like, I'm having so much fun now dating. She's probably like mid-40s and she's having so much fun dating guys.
Yeah.
And like, she just made me feel so like, inspired.
Exactly. And these are the kind of people we want to, when we start bringing guests, these are the kind of people we want to start bringing on.
Yeah.
To make other people feel better as well about themselves. Like there are women in their 40s that are starting fresh. I actually genuinely believe there's no age where it's too late to do anything. Whether it's to find love, to like, finding your career, your passions.
Start a business.
Anything.
My mum told me about someone that started studying medicine at 50. Yeah. Anna, that woman I told you to follow. Yeah. Dana Mercier. How amazing is she?
The psychologist or whatever.
No. Dana Mercier, the influencer that I went to her videos. She found love at like...
Mandy tells me to follow really good people, actually. Inspirational people.
I do.
Because I just follow like Instagram influencers that are just like typical.
So some of them would be like, okay, Esther Perel, she's like a therapist, psychologist. She gives some really good advice.
Yeah. So is that the older woman that you told me to follow? Yeah. Oh my God. One video Mandy sent me of hers has stuck with me. So I might tell you guys what it said. Basically, she was like talking about how she went into the kitchen, her husband's there, and they're about to basically get into a stupid argument. But some of the big arguments you might have with your other half start with the most dumb, stupid shit. Even me and you, Mandy, we argued yesterday over our podcast.
I really want to tell them about our argument.
Yeah, we'll tell you about it after, but we started arguing over about the most stupid, dumbest shit. And she goes into the kitchen, about to start an argument about dumb shit, and then she goes to herself, stop, choice, different change. Stop, choice, change, yeah? So you stop there because your blood's boiling at that point. You're so angry. You can just go start saying mean things or flip out over the most dumbest shit. But you stop. You just decide mentally to change. And she said she just started burst out laughing.
And then he obviously started bursting out laughing as well.
And then the whole morning...
Took a different colour.
Exactly, took a different colour. And that is how simple it is. And I played that for my boyfriend and he was like, you know what? That's fucking true.
I feel like you live a parallel, symmetrical life to me in a different house because I did the same thing.
So I played it for him and I was like, look, babe, from now on, this is what we're going to start doing, yeah? Because we're fighters. We're lovers, but we're fighters.
So
we're
funny.
passionate. And I was like, from now on, when we're going to argue about the dumbest shit, yeah, you're going to stop, I'm going to stop. We're going to decide to change and then we're going to have a lovely day.
A lot of my arguments just start with like, but why you got attitude? Why have you got attitude? Well, if you're not like that, do you know what I mean? But like me and Anna got into this argument yesterday. It was so pathetic, yeah?
So pathetic. Because obviously we were both upset. The podcast disappeared. Well, it didn't work. The audio didn't work. We had to come back in on a Sunday to do it. And I was like in the morning to Mandy, like the audio's obviously not worked. We need to go back in today. Can you let me know what time? And then like...
Anyway, we just got into this argument because Anna obviously puts more effort into like editing and making clips and like promoting the podcast. I'm a bit lazy, I'm not going to lie. And then basically I was trying to change the time of the podcast for recording and then she just flipped out like, you don't do enough and da-da-da-da. And I was like,
you make me feel worthless and useless and I'm the funnier one. And I'm like...
Not anymore. I was in the last podcast. It was so good that we lost. Fucking gutted, man.
Yeah, it's all right.
It was so fucking funny in that one. Anyway, I'm not gonna fucking fake it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we got into this mad fucking fight over what? Nothing about this podcast. But it's hard because we're sisters, we're best friends, and now we're business partners.
Yeah, it's true.
That's a lot.
I was like, are we like clashing recently? And then, because I don't understand why we are having too many arguments recently. But then I was speaking to my boyfriend about it and he was like, you know what? He was like, me and my brothers go through stages. So there's like, might be a stage, like we're a couple of months a few months where you argue a lot and then a few months.
I think it's got so much to do with the relationship you've got with that person. Him and his brother are not best friends and business partners. That's a lot of like burden. That's a lot of pressure. They talk on the phone. They see each other when family gets together. We see each other for content, for pictures. We see each other for podcasts.
All the time as well before.
We lived together and we used to argue a lot when we lived together about dishes, about dogs, about feeding, about bins.
Maybe we just feel the arguments more because when we argue, we're not in front of each other to solve them, so they kind of last a bit longer.
It's easier to squash arguments when you live with someone. Didn't your arguments feel a lot bigger when you didn't live with Cowslip? Because my arguments...
Yes.
That's what I think.
Yes, that's so true.
My small arguments with Gingerbeard felt a lot more bigger because I wasn't bumping into him in the next room and laughing about it or like solving it. That's
so
what it is.
True. Oh my God, you just literally put the nail. What's the saying? Nail on the...
Yeah, hit the nail on the head.
Hit the nail on the head.
It's a lot, yeah, because being so close to someone and then having a business with them, it's a lot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the problem is like... My poor editor. We argue, yeah? And I'm like, I'm not going to do the podcast anymore. You're a quitter. And I'm like, I'm not doing this podcast anymore. And I'm in the group chat with the editor and I'm like... We're not going to do this anymore. The poor guy.
I think he's like our counsellor.
Yeah,
he's like, guys, everybody's emotions are high. Everybody calm down. This podcast is great. And Anna leaves the group.
And it's really, and then I'm like really stressed because I'm like, I don't want to genuinely stop this podcast. I actually really do enjoy it. And I really, really believe in it. And I know it's got potential.
It's hard because like we said before, because we're not profiting from it. When we do argue, it's quicker to give up.
Because you're like, oh, I'm not getting that much from it.
Because it feels more like a hobby almost at the moment. But we believe in it. Anyway, yeah. And what happened, I ended up just like, I thought you blocked me.
She thought I blocked her, but I just turned my phone off because sometimes when I get really stressed, I just turn my phone off.
So I called her boyfriend and I was like, hey, can you pass the phone to Anna? And then I was like, she goes,
basically our boyfriends think we're crazy.
Yeah, they think we're so weird. He's like, you guys are freaks. When I was walking down, he shouted, you and your sister really need to work on your relationship.
It's the funniest thing because like we're arguing, having a go at each other, and next thing you know, she calls me. We're like, okay,
we're completely
normal. And then like literally 20 minutes saying, Mandy, I booked you a massage for tomorrow. And my boyfriend was like,
know, you're so
you went.
cute.
He was like, you went from like arguing, like stopping the podcast, being horrible to each other to like, I booked you a massage. She was like, that's not normal.
I know. It was just so weird. Like, Anna, you know you sent me a really cute video from Instagram, yeah? I played it when we sorted it.
Exactly. And I was
And
like,
that was the cutest video. Me
I-
and
I-
Gingerbread were like, oh my God, this
I
is
sent
so
it in
cute.
and you were just being horrible to
I
me
didn't
after.
open it. I was shaking, crying. I thought Anna is giving up on this podcast. Like, I believe this podcast is my future.
I even said, I'm sorry for upsetting you. And I said a cute video like, I love you and it's going to be okay. And then she kept going, no. I was like,
I see this podcast like my career because I see it like my career now. Do you know what I mean? And I'm growing this beautiful flower and I don't want to give up on it. And I don't want to give up on it no matter what. Like, that's how I feel. But anyway, it was just so pathetic. I called her and I was like, this is really, really pathetic.
yeah. And I was like, yeah, it's really
This is
pathetic.
so, I don't even know what we're arguing about. Like, that's how pathetic it is.
Well, anyway, guys.
Well, we didn't cover anything that we were supposed to. So we started this like, okay, we're going to talk about friendship, answer friendship dilemmas, and we've just been waffling.
That just proves, though, how much we can talk.
It's scary how much we can talk. My Gingerbread always says to me, like, you talk too much. Like, you just talk too much.
It's true. You remind me a lot of Cowslick. Non-stop talking.
Really?
Yeah. But anyway.
I love you guys so much.
We love you. And don't worry, we're not going to quit.
We're not quitting.
Because I genuinely...
If we quit, it's Anna's fault because she'll be the quitter.
If we quit, I genuinely feel so bad because we have so many people that are loyal listeners and I don't know what I would say.
I don't know. I'm just hoping that like one day this will be like a business for us.
Yeah, that is the aim, obviously.
Yeah, because then otherwise, ultimately, we will end up like... But that was, give it a couple of years.
Yeah. Anyway, we love you guys and we hope that you enjoyed our episode and we will be back next week.
We love you so much.
Bye.